Hi everyone, we're on page 301 and this is an etude or study, French word for study, by Gurlic, Cornelius Gurlic. And you can see his dates. He lived very squarely in the 19th century, just lived 1 year into the 20th century. And this is just kind of a copycat piece. Whatever the left hand does, the right hand just copies it up an octave with very few exceptions. So let's look it over, and there are only 2 places in this piece where that rule gets broken, where the right hand does something just a tiny bit different than the left hand. Look it over and see if you can see where that might be. Okay, you might have gotten to the end of the piece at the second to last measure, measure 15. They have different inversions of the same chord, D root and then D first inversion in the right. So that's a little different. Also back up the last measure of the third line down, measure 12 has an E7. And right hand is also E7, but it's different voicing. So B, D, E, it has no G sharp. So these are examples of right hand going off on a different voicing of the same chord. But for the rest of the piece, it's strictly copying, so you can just read the left, copy it in the right. And to be honest, he wrote this piece in 2/4, but he easily could have written this in 6/8, right? Because look at all the triplets. And notice when a piece does have many, many triplets, it's pretty common for the engraver to just put the italic 3 on the triplet in 1 or 2 measures and then not again, because it's sort of self-evident that they're all triplets. So watch out for that, because that sometimes can throw you off guard if you're thinking, what's this note value? The other thing about this piece is use legato pedal every single downbeat. It says simile in measure 4, so you're going to lift on every downbeat and then put it right back down again. So I think it's a piece you actually could sight read hands together. Another way to do it is to just block your chords. Let's block a few bars here. D major, D augmented, good practice to name the chords. That is B minor, E minor. Here is a different kind of chord, which we have not had. And then this is C sharp diminished and F sharp minor. Let's just keep going while we're at it. D major, G major, E7 with different voicing, D major, A major, D major. So hopefully you've seen enough of these tutorials and learn in class that that's one of the most standard ways and a very excellent way. If you want to learn a piece faster, block it. Because what you're doing is getting the whole gestalt. You're getting the whole feel, the whole sound. If you name the chord, it's a quicker learning, a deeper learning experience. And you're going to commit it to your long-term memory much more quickly than if you're just doing this Johnny 1 note at a time. So really get in the habit of this way of practicing. Okay, so here we go. About 1, 2, 3, bum, bum, ba. 1, 2. 1, 2. So notice I'm going to continue pedaling up, down, up, down, up, down. And now I'm going to get a little bit louder with each measure. Okay, the tempo is allegretto, so once you have your chords under your fingers, is probably more of an allegretto tempo, but don't push it until you're ready. Always just go where you can really be technically accurate and comfortable, and then the speed will just come naturally rather than trying to push it.